What's good, fam? J. Cole finally decided to break his silence on the total collapse of the rap game, and his latest interview is basically a funeral for whatever pride Drake had left after 2024. March of 2026 was the month when Cole sat down for Cameron's Talk with Flea podcast. The energy in the room stayed heavy because this was their first real link-up since that legal mess over the song Ready 24 back in October of 2025. Cole used this massive platform to describe the way the industry and the fans acted during the Kendrick beef as absolutely disgusting. He specifically pointed out how everybody seemed to enjoy piling on Drake while he was already down on the ground. Modern politics is how the North Carolina legend compared the current hip-hop scene. He told Cameron that people were basically forced to choose between being a Democrat or a Republican with zero room for a middle ground. Low communication with both Kendrick and Drake is something he admitted to lately, but he still feels that human urge to reach out and text them despite all the industry tension. The real smoke started when Cole got into the details of why he feels so frustrated with how the whole Not Like Us era played out for the culture. Watching the entire world turn on Drake with such a vicious intensity was something he told Cameron he genuinely hated. He described the atmosphere as a toxic mess that did not represent what hip-hop is supposed to be about. While Cole made it clear that he is just as proud of Kendrick's massive success today as he was when they first met, that praise for Dot basically serves as a reminder that Drake lost the crown for good. Peers and artists who only jumped into the fray because they wanted to see Drake fail were Cole's biggest issue. He labeled that specific behavior as disgusting rather than actual competition. This commentary here is different because it comes right as Drake is trying to launch his new Iceman rebrand in 2026. It looks more like a desperate reaction to this collective trauma than a genuine pivot. Even the biggest stars in the world felt like they were being forced into a war they never wanted to fight, and Cole is confirming that the environment was just that, poisonous. Wild moments like Cole reconciling with Killer Cam on this podcast were unexpected because nobody thought they would move past that legal drama from 2025 so quickly. When they were discussing the fallout of the 2024 beef, Cole looked visibly drained while explaining how the rap world became a place where nobody could just be a fan of the music anymore. The pressure to pick a side was so intense that it felt like fans were participating in a political campaign rather than enjoying a lyrical battle. Drake might be out here trying to act like the Iceman, but Cole's interview makes it clear that the damage done to his reputation was a collective effort. It turned the entire industry into a graveyard for anyone who was not willing to pick a side. Competitive spirit was replaced by a genuine desire to see a man's entire career get deleted from the history books, and Cole expressed how much he hates that shift in the genre. Specific details about the piling on effect came out next, and the North Carolina rapper mentioned that seeing other artists wait for Drake to be vulnerable before attacking was the lowest point for the music. Even though Cole is trying to be the bigger man and show love to both sides, he cannot hide the fact that Kendrick's victory was so absolute. It changed how people view Drake forever because the defeat felt so personal to the fans. The world shifted during that Not Like Us summer, and Cole felt a deep sense of disgust watching people celebrate the downfall of a peer with such joy. This whole situation proved that the industry was not just looking for better bars. They were looking for a reason to finally push Drake off the mountain he had been camping on for a decade. Distancing himself from the toxic energy entirely is what Cole wants now, and he described himself as someone who still loves the art but hates how the world handled the beef. While Drake is busy filing 117-page legal appeals and trying to rebrand himself as some cold, unbothered figure, Cole is exposing the emotional reality that Drake refuses to admit. Thinking about texting both of them just to see if they are doing okay is something Cole mentioned often, but the industry wall is just too high to climb right now. Recovery might never happen for the original spirit of healthy competition because the culture was shown in such a bad light during that time. That is a very heavy thought for everyone in the game right now. Kendrick winning was a cultural reset that Cole acknowledges, but he is clearly haunted by the way the world used Dot's momentum to completely bury the boy. It is a nasty look for the game when the most peaceful dude in the room has to come out and tell everyone that their behavior was disgusting. Cole being real about his own feelings shows a level of maturity that we just have not seen from the OVO camp since this whole beef jumped off. He was completely open about feeling forced into a box where he had to act like he hated someone just to satisfy the bloodthirsty fans. The way he describes it makes the 2024 beef sound like a traumatic moment for the entire culture instead of just a battle between two rappers. Drake might be trying to play the role of the villain or the Iceman right now, but Cole is here to remind everyone that the world already chose its hero back in Compton. The fact that Cole feels like he has to defend Drake while still giving Kendrick his flowers shows how messy the aftermath of this war really is. Tell me what you all think about Cole calling out the fans and his peers for the disgusting way they treated Drake during that time. Drop a comment and let me know, because I want the truth. And while you are at it, hit that like and subscribe button so we can keep this moving. March 20th, 2026 was the day J. Cole sat down with Nadeska Alexis on Apple Music to peel back the layers on what was happening behind the scenes. During that conversation, Cole shared a major revelation that showed how close he actually came to a total mental breakdown during that stressful season. He revealed that his wife, Melissa He-Holt, actually broke down in tears of relief when he finally decided to apologize to Kendrick. These were not just some random tears, because Cole said she had spent weeks watching him turn into a miserable, emotionally burdened version of himself. Melissa had to watch her husband struggle under the pressure to join a rap war that did not sit right with his spirit, and her reaction proves the beef was literally poisoning their home. Just an hour before he went on stage at the 2024 Dreamville Festival, Cole told Melissa he could not do it anymore because he felt like he was pretending to be someone he was not. He looked back at that 7-minute drill song and called the whole thing King stupid, admitting it was a fake version of himself that was destroying his peace. Before we get into how Drake was out here crashing out while Cole was finding his peace, tell me if y'all think Cole was being real for choosing his sanity, or if he really just folded under pressure. Drop your thoughts in the comments and keep it 100 with me. While you at it, hit that like and subscribe button. Now let's see how Drake's circle really set him up for failure. While the OVO leader was crashing out and losing his mind on the internet, Cole's inner circle was fighting to keep him from falling into that same trap. Drake was surrounded by yes men who encouraged him to keep digging a deeper hole, but Cole had a wife who was praying for him to walk away and find his sanity. Cole chose his family and his mental health, while Drake chose to fight a war that cost him his crown and his standing in the culture, making the contrast between their paths absolutely wild. The energy coming from the Kendrick camp was so heavy it was making grown men feel sick to their stomachs, and Cole admitted he felt like a fraud for even entertaining the beef. This is the disgusting truth that nobody wanted to address at the time because the fans were too busy looking for a highlight reel to realize these rappers have real lives. Looking at the timeline of events, it is clear that Cole is using this transparency to fuel the rollout for his album, The Fall Off, which dropped on February 6, 2026. That project reflects everything he learned from surviving the fallout of 2024, and it looks nothing like the way Drake is handling his business right now. Cole is preparing for a massive 50-date global arena tour that kicks off on July 11, 2026 in Charlotte, while Drake is still stuck in the mud with legal appeals. Honesty is why Cole is being celebrated right now, while Drake is being mocked for an Iceman rebrand that most fans see as a total cope. Fans are already analyzing tracks like I Love Her Again and What If as direct reflections on how the industry betrayed Drake during the height of the Kendrick war. Cole is using his music to show the world the wreckage that was left behind after the battle for the top spot finally ended. Cole basically nailed the coffin shut on that whole 2024 narrative when he admitted Kendrick owned the moment and Drake officially lost his crown. It hits different when a fan says it, but the damage is permanent when a member of the Big Three stands up to confirm the truth. Cole made it clear that the throne is empty now, and no amount of legal paperwork or Instagram captions can change that reality. While Drake tries to stay relevant in a world that moved past his sound, Cole is turning the Fall Off tour into the massive victory lap for choosing peace. Even the title of the album feels like a jab at how Drake's status has tanked since the Not Like Us era took over the globe. This entire situation shows Drake losing again because his own peers are using that 2024 beef as a lesson on what not to do when things get heavy. Cole showed the world you can survive losing face if you stay honest, but Drake is still playing a character that nobody believes in anymore. When Cole talked about Melissa's tears and his own misery, he opened a window into a dark side of the industry that Drake hides behind jewelry and a cold persona. That 2026 podcast bomb and the Apple Music interview destroyed the idea that this was just a fun competition. Cole revealed it was a toxic mess that almost broke the strongest people in the game. Starting his tour in Charlotte on July 11th is a poetic move that shows Cole is rooted in his home while Drake sits isolated in his mansion. Every time Cole speaks, he adds more context to why Drake is struggling as a direct result of the choices he made back in that fateful summer. Fans see Cole as a survivor and Drake as a victim of his own ego, which is a narrative shift that might be impossible to recover from. The industry is watching Cole move with a freedom Drake can only dream of because Drake is still shackled to the consequences of a war he never should have started. The rap game became a place of trauma and constant piling on, and Cole was the only one with the heart to say it out loud. You can see the maturity in how Cole handled that legal dispute with Cameron, sitting down to talk it out like a man before their massive podcast moment in March of 2026. Drake is burning bridges and suing the same platforms that made him a star, while Cole builds a legacy on truth and reconciliation. The contrast between these two in 2026 proves that Kendrick did more than win a battle. He actually changed the moral compass of the whole culture. Conversations are getting louder as the tour approaches because the tracks on the new album are providing so much fuel for the fire. People hear the pain in the song What If and realize Cole watched his friend get torn apart by a world that used to worship him. Cole isn't being soft, he is being real. And that reality hurts Drake more than any diss track ever could. It shows the downfall was so visible that even his competitors felt bad for him, which is the ultimate sign that the crown is gone. You don't feel pity for a king, you only feel pity for a man who used to be one. Choosing his mental health and his marriage over a fake rap war gave Cole a new era of global success, while Drake is stuck in a cycle of legal battles and irrelevance. The truth Cole dropped on that podcast was heavy because it exposed the fans and peers who thrive on destruction. Drake's story is now the cautionary tale of the decade, and J. Cole is the narrator who finally told the world how it felt to watch it all fall apart.